No sooner did I release an episode of the podcast about strength still mattering that I was involved in a 3-hour mini conference, which I should have known better. And this mini conference had very, very ambitious aims. So I thought, well, I'd like to be part of that. I like being around anything that has significant aims, opportunity to make impact, to break free from tradition and sameness and boringness of practice and do something with real teeth. We could change the world with the skills that we have. We're underusing what we've got. But as soon as I got onto this conference, I realized that everybody wanted to talk about the same old stuff that is running rampant through the Agile community. All good stuff, by the way, but let me make a serious point here for a second. We want to talk about things like empathy and holding space and making room and honoring journeys. We've got all these really great buzzwords, and if anyone violates those buzzwords, we will attack them ferociously on LinkedIn or other forms of social media. And it sounds like I'm being a bit cynical and sarcastic, and I really shouldn't, because these things are important. People want to feel heard. People need to feel like they're part of something special. People need to feel safe. People need to be included. Things need to be fair. But all of those things added up and summed up and put in one pretty little package with a bow on it will not make change. Change gets made by envisioning an outcome, seeing it clearly, and deciding that, yes, we can do it. This belongs to us. We don't know how we're going to do this, and it is definitely scary. But spending a lot of time tending to our fears and our inadequacies and our hopes and our wishes is not what moves the needle. You know how I know? Because when we finished the 3 hours, do you know what we had to show for it? Nothing. 0 decisions, except to have another one of these meetings. 0 conquest. Nothing determined, no commitments, nothing definitive. No hell yeah or hoo-yah or let's move forward, let's do this, let's get this done. By all means necessary, don't know how, burn the boats. None of that stuff was there. Simply a celebration of having been heard and saying what we feel and saying what we wish and polishing it off with words like, yeah, this is complex. This is going to take some thinking. This is big. This is really big. Those things, my friend, are not action. And this, I think, is the tragedy of modern Agile. When you put a bunch of us together in a room, this is the best we can come up with. Commitment to have another meeting. And then the worst part is, we turn around and look at people who do the same thing, just not on a Saturday, but on a weekday. Create a 3-hour meeting with no concrete outcomes, no movement forward, no commitments, no promises, no schedule, no nothing. Nothing except an agreement to plan or to book the next meeting, or to take the feedback from this meeting. We point our fingers with judgment and say, how dare you waste our time? It's a well-known secret that meetings are the most common scapegoat for why people can't be productive. Why? Because we assemble, we 10x the amount of effort and energy that a person would normally be spending by bringing 10 people into the room, 20 people into the room, where nothing gets done. Most people are half checked in. They're not contributing. We're not committing to bold, ambitious goals because we're afraid to. And then when the meeting's over, we roll our eyes and we shake our heads. And then what do? We book a weekend conference that does exactly the same thing. 0 momentum, 0 motion. And it's positively toxic. Where are the Agile champions? Where are the people who understand that nothing happens until you do? There is no plan, there is no study, there is no someday, there is no maybe. There is only do. If you want to see it, if you want to be it, you have to do it. And if nobody else will go first, then you. When I've met someone who does that, someone who goes when nobody else will, somebody who goes in the absence of enough information, somebody who goes in the absence of certainty or safety, then I'm staring down the barrel of a real Agile leader, a true badass. But we, in the aggregate, simply don't do it. Test my theory. Go look and see. And if you find people who violate this premise, find people who actually commit and do great bold things, who say incredible things, inspiring things, things that could change the landscape, and then they go do it, send me their email because I want to meet them. More importantly, I want to work with them. More importantly, I want to learn from them. Will you propagate the status quo? Will you participate in these kinds of gatherings that really are just about feeling comfortable, feeling heard, feeling community? Or worse still, will you create them? Or could you be the one? Will you be the sort who commits first, then takes massive, unquestioning, almost irresponsible action to start experimenting, delivering, measuring, and improving? This is the true spirit of Agile. Look it up. If you don't believe me, if you've forgotten why we're here, go look it up. It's everywhere. It's on Wikipedia. You can look it up. It's in your courses. It should be, even if you're taking certified Scrum Master exams, it's right there. This is our duty. This is our calling. This is who we're supposed to become. And anything short is a betrayal. Don't be the bargain bin, second-class version of yourself. You were born with the ability to have greatness. The good news is what's required is not all of the hours of study and labor and planning and worrying and sweating about how you're going to do it, or if you're qualified, or if you belong. You're going to trade all of that sweat, all of that energy, all that anxiety instead for doing scary things. And making a habit of doing scary things makes doing scary things less scary. But for some reason, we don't. We feel that we can't. This is where we're broken. This will be the death of our agility. And then what are we left with? What's next? Where is the hope? We have but one choice.